Yes, indeed. So when business commenced yesterday, 9th December 2025, Madam Speaker did make two announcements. In the first announcement, Madam Speaker informed the House that she received a communication to the effect that in the absence of our Honour the Vice President, was attending to other government business. The Minister of Defence, Honourable Ambrose L. Lufuma MP, had been appointed acting leader of government business in the House from Tuesday, 9th December 2025 until further notice.
Yes, indeed. And in another announcement, the Honorable Madam Speaker did recognize the presence in the public gallery of pupils and teachers from St. Vincent Pallotti Catholic School in Lusaka District. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the National Assembly, welcomed the visitors.
After those announcements, the House then considered two urgent matter without notice under Standing Order 142. The first one did come from Mr. Bino Mpundu, Nkana Member of Parliament. He did raise a matter on the alleged demolition of houses by the Zambia Army in Kasombe residential area in Chingola District, and this matter was not admitted.
And Mr. Davis Chisopa, Member of Parliament for Mukushi South, did raise a matter of urgent matter without notice, and this was on the alleged ineffective newly introduced tax system by the Zambia Revenue Authority at the border posts across the country. This was also inadmissible.
The Minister of Green Economy and Environment made a statement on the 30th session of the Conference of Parties COP30 held in Belém, Brazil from 10th to 21st November 2025. The Minister briefed the House on the details of the conference, the resolutions adopted by Member States, and further highlighted the measures the country had taken after attending the conference.
Yes, and after the ministerial statement, the House went on to consider questions for oral answer number 117 to 119, Understanding Order number 80.
After consideration of those ordinary questions, Understanding Order 80, the House then did resolve into a committee of supply to consider estimates of revenue and expenditure, including capital and constitutional and statutory expenditure, and the following heads were considered.
And we start with head 03, which was the National Assembly, and a total amount of 1,581,275,093 kwacha was agreed to be part of the estimates and revenue for this particular head.
And then head 89, Ministry of Agriculture, a total allocation of 13,226,349,106 kwacha was agreed to stand part of the estimates.
We also had head number 80, which is Ministry of Education, and a total amount of 30,590,689,912 was agreed to be part of the estimates for head 80.
And we also had Office of the President, Muchinga Province, 183,940,240 kwacha was agreed to.
We had head number 89, which is Ministry of Agriculture, and a total amount of 13,226,349,106 kwacha was agreed to be part of the estimates for this head.
Followed by head 90, Office of the President, Lusaka Province, a total allocation of 183,940,240 kwacha was agreed to stand part of the estimates.
And Copper Belt Province, under Office of the President, which is head 91, a total amount of 165,162,802 kwacha was agreed to be part of the estimates for this head.
The other head was head 92, Office of the President, Central Province, and a total allocation of 156,744,485 kwacha was agreed to stand part of the estimate.
And head 93, which is the Northern Province, a total amount of 149,886,865 was agreed to be part of the estimates for this particular head.
Head 94, Office of the President, Western Province, a total amount of 167,245,939 kwacha was also agreed to stand part of the estimates.
Head 95, Eastern Province, a total amount of 168,120,624 kwacha was agreed to be part of the estimates for this head.
Head 96, Office of the President, Luapula Province, a total amount of 152,894,911 kwacha was also agreed to stand part of the estimate.
And we had a head 97, which is Northwestern Province, and a total amount of 146,473,217 kwacha was agreed to be part of the estimates for this head.
The other head which was considered is head 98, Office of the President, Southern Province, and a total amount of 169,446,266 kwacha was agreed to stand part of the estimates.
Well, and after consideration, a total amount of 253,89,454,320 kwacha was agreed to in respect of the estimates of revenue, including capital and constitutional as well as statutory expenditure for the year 1st January 2026 to the end of the year 31st January 2026. And that, of course, notice was taken at 17:02 that quorum had not been formed, and Madam Speaker did order the bells to be rung and House counted. The quorum formed, business of the House did resume.
Yes, and estimates of revenue and expenditure, including capital and constitutional and statutory expenditure for the year 1st January 2026 to 31st December 2026 was considered in committee, and report stage is expected to be taken on Friday, 12th December 2025.
So that is basically business of the House yesterday, Tuesday, 9th December 2025. And just now, we look at what is expected to come for consideration on the floor of the House today, Wednesday, 10th December 2025. We expect to have some announcements if there will be any urgent matters without notice, if there will be any, and there will be a ministerial statement, and then we have one question for oral answer, understanding order 82, one question for oral answer, understanding order number 80, and we have one private member's motion, as well as 8 government bills to be considered at committee stage. And Joe, we look at the details of what is contained on today's order paper.
Yes, indeed, and Pauline, rather. We look at the details of the order paper for today. As you said, so we have one ministerial statement. The Minister of Water Development and Sanitation is expected to render a ministerial statement on the measures that the government is taking to resolve the water crisis in Deke Village and surrounding areas in Kamfinsa Parliamentary constituency.
And after that ministerial statement, there is a question that is going to be posed by the minister, the member of parliament for Kapoche, Mr. Mwaiwase Lungu, and this question is direct to the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development. This will be considered understanding order number 80, and the first part of the question, he wants to know whether government is aware that the following crossing points in Kapoche parliamentary constituency have been washed away, and this is Lemi in Luandazi ward, and there is also under 2 Chingombe in Chingombe ward, and 3 Miezi in Chembwe ward. And part B of the question, if so, what urgent measures the government is taking to avert a loss of lives and ensure there is access to essential facilities such as clinics and schools.
And the other question, understanding order 8, this is a question of ordinary nature, is coming from Mr. Emmanuel Msonda Chimbamilonga, Member of Parliament. He has a question to the Minister of Energy. He wants to find out when the following wards in Chimbamilonga Parliamentary constituency will be electrified under phase 2 of the rural electrification project. These are Munwa, Mikose, Kapinda, Molulu, Kakusu, Kashikishi, Lusangwe, Chishi, Mfungwa, Kakoma, and Mwambeshi. In B, why the project has delayed and what measures have been taken to expedite the process.
And after the questions for oral answer, the House is expected to consider one private member's motion, and this is coming from Mr. Chinga Nyutu, Member of Parliament for Kalabo Central, and the motion is titled Strength and Protection and Rights of Persons with Albinism, and that this House urges the government to strengthen protection and rights of persons with disabilities.
Yes, indeed. So we have orders of the day, and the following bills are expected to be considered at committee stage. The first one is the Income Tax Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 19 of 2025. The Customs and Excise Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 20 over 2025, also to be considered at committee stage.
Others expected to be considered at committee stage are the Value Added Tax Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 21 of 2025. There's also the Zambia Revenue Authority Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 22 of 2025, and the Property Transfer Tax Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2025. The Mobile Money Transfer Levy Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 25 of 2025, 24 of 2025. Then there is the Registration of Business Names Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2025, and also the Betting Levy Bill, National Assembly Bill number 31 of 2025, all to be considered at committee stage. In total, there are 8 bills to be considered at committee stage this afternoon.
Yes, indeed, Pauline. This order paper can be accessed on the National Assembly of Zambia website, www.parliament.gov.zm, and you can also follow the proceedings on our DSTV channel number 272, GoTV channel number 28, and of course Topstar channel number 5. As you can see on your screens, Madam Speaker's procession making its way into the chamber, and business is expected to commence at 14:30 hours. We now take you to the chamber for the live parliamentary proceedings. Good afternoon.
Honorable members of Parliament, Madam Speaker.
Tendency of Zambia, proud and free, land of wealth and joy in unity, victors in the struggle for our rights. We want freedom's fight, oh, and strong and free. Africa is our own motherland, fashioned with and blessed by those who blend. Let us all our people join as one, brothers under the sun, oh, one, strong and free. One land and one nation is our cry. Dignity and peace in Zambia's sky, like a noble eagle in its flight. Zambia, praise to thee, oh, one, strong and free. Praise be to God, praise be, bless our great Zambia, Zambia, Zambia. Remain we stand under the flag of our land, Zambia, we all one, strong and free.
Prayer. Almighty God, who in your infinite wisdom and providential goodness has appointed the offices of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to consider with your abundant favor us, your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of such important responsibilities in this land. Let your blessing descend upon us here in Parliament assembled, and grant that we may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation, in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country, and of those whose interests you have committed to our church. Amen. Order, honorable members, order. Honorable members, I have two announcements. The first one is, honorable members, I wish to recognize the presence in the public gallery of visitors from the Albinism Multi-Purpose Organization in Lusaka District. On behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, I warmly welcome our visitors in our midst. I thank you. You may take your seats. The second announcement, honorable members, I wish to recognize the presence in the public gallery of visitors from Isoka Parliamentary Constituency in Isoka District. On behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, I warmly welcome our visitors in our midst. I thank you. You may take your seats. Urgent matters without notice. The Honorable Member for Chama North.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The urgent matter without notice is directed to the Minister of Agriculture. Madam Speaker, the farmers in Chama District who supplied maize to FRA have started receiving their monies, which is a sign of relief to enable them plan adequately for this farming season. However, Madam Speaker, we have a challenge in one of the wards, that is Mbaz ward, which is more than 150 kilometers from Chama Boma. These farmers, there are more than 1,500 farmers, and they have to cover a distance of more than 150 to go and access their money at the bank. Madam Speaker, it's not only costly, but also very risky, because you pass through Malawi, and the cases of robbery cannot be ruled out. Madam Speaker, this is an issue I've been engaging government. Even last year, the PS had promised that they will ensure that at least a mobile bank services can be, the people can access there instead of covering long distances. But that has not happened even this year. Just yesterday, Madam Speaker, we lost a life as people were coming to get money at the bank. One person died on the spot and others are critically injured. So, Madam Speaker, I feel that the people of Mbazi ward feel that they have been abandoned by the government, because this ward is a food basket for the whole district. We have old people, people are disabled who can't manage to cover a distance of 150 kilometers to go and access their money. So I seek your serious indulgence in this matter, so that maybe these farmers can be helped so that they can access their monies within that particular ward. I seek your serious indulgence. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Chama North, for raising that issue. But, Honorable Members, the issue of farmers and them not being paid by Food Reserve, and it has been raised on several occasions on the floor of this House. I'm glad that you are acknowledging that some farmers have been paid, except for that particular ward that has not been paid because of distance and also and non-availability of telecommunication services for mobile money services. So, Honorable Member for Chama North, what I can ask you is maybe to engage the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, engage the Honorable Minister of Science and Technology to see how these matters can be resolved. As I've said on several occasions, bringing a matter on the floor of the House, it will just be debated, and after that, people forget about it. And yet, I'm sure, Honorable Member for Chama North, you want solutions for your people in your constituency. So let's engage. By engaging, for me, I believe that you'll find solutions rather than just bringing the matter on the floor of the House. So let's attempt that and see if there's a problem, there is no response. Then maybe you can come, we can have a chat and see how best we can resolve. So the matter is not admitted. Honorable Member, you are urged to engage the respective ministries. The next one is the Honorable Member for Kamfinsa.
Madam Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to direct an urgent matter without notice to the Minister responsible for health. I'm not able to see the Minister responsible for health. With your indulgence, Madam Speaker, I direct the matter to our Honor, the Vice President, Leader of Government Business. Madam Speaker, at the center of a healthy nation is having personnel that can ensure that the citizens are healthy. And one of the key components, Madam Speaker, is the component of having medical doctors who are qualified, who are able to attend to the patients in good time, Madam Speaker, in a very professional manner. Madam Speaker, you are aware that medical doctors who have not been formally employed by government and working as volunteers have indicated that on the 19th of December, they will cease to provide the medical assistance that they render to citizens across Zambia, Madam Speaker. And as a result of that announcement, Madam Speaker, key personnel that are attending to patients not only here in Lusaka, but across the country who are called volunteers will no longer be available according to the announcement by the Resident Doctors Association of Zambia. Madam Speaker, considering the sensitivity of the work that medical doctors who are called volunteers currently render to the nation, Madam Speaker, the people want assurance on what government will do to ensure that this group of personnel continues to provide medical assistance to the people out there. And just for avoidance of doubt, Madam Speaker, a volunteer is a qualified medical doctor. They are on call whenever they are needed. They are on a shift of 12 hours every day providing medical care. Is government in order, Madam Speaker, not to assure the nation that the issue pertaining to volunteer doctors is being attended to? Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Kamfinsa. The issue of medical doctors who are volunteering, we've heard it on the news. The reason for raising an urgent matter without notice is to bring it to the attention of the government so that they can do something about it. I am aware that from the reports that the government is aware and they are engaging with the medical doctors. But for purposes of finding an answer from the Honorable Minister of Health, I suggest the Honorable Member for Kamfinsa puts in a question, and then the Honorable Minister can be able to come and explain what measures have been taken. But the government is aware. I've also read from the reports and listened to the news. So the matter is not admitted. The Honorable Member is advised to put in a question. Can put in an urgent question. The Honorable Member for Kaumbwe.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. The matter I wish to raise of urgent public importance without notice is directed at the Minister of Finance and National Planning in conjunction with the Minister of Local Government. Madam Speaker, a Kaumbwe constituency, which falls under Petauke Town Council, is owed 30,743,762 kwacha 24 ngwe in terms of CDF funding. This amount of money has not yet been disbursed, and the council has procured contracts to 100%, civil works contracts, as well as the loans, grants. Now, the effect which I am standing here today is particularly those contracts that are affected by rains. In particular is the bridge at between Pamanzi and Mando. The contractor is on site, has not been funded, and yesterday, after a heavy downpour, the embankment was washed away, posing a danger to the people of Mankungwe and Mando. There is no, the two communities are completely cut off, and my worry is during the night, people would love to cross, and the people from Mando would not even access health services. This is a disaster. Is the government in order to deny 30,743,762 kwacha to the funding of CDF for Kaumbwe constituency, when this program, the CDF program, is a flagship program for the UPND government, and we are all utilizing this program that it is a game changer. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Kaumbwe. You've raised two issues. One, the non-release of over 32 million plus in CDF funding. Secondly, the washing away of the embankment in two areas. So I don't know which one, but maybe your major interest is in the release of the CDF funds. So maybe, Honorable Member, what you can do is put in a question. Then the Honorable Minister is going to respond. But in the meantime, you can engage. I see the Honorable Minister keeps on looking at you, meaning he's got a solution for you. So let's engage, Honorable Members. We are one people. Let's work together. We will see results and we'll solve problems. So we make progress. I have permitted the Honorable Minister of Water Development and Sanitation to present a ministerial statement. The Honorable Minister of Water Development and Sanitation.
Madam Speaker, thank you for according me this opportunity to update this August House on the measures government is implementing to address the water supply challenges currently being experienced in Ndeke, Changachanga, Mulenga, and the surrounding areas of Kamfinsa constituency. From the outset, allow me to reaffirm that government is fully aware of the challenges our people are facing, including the frequent disruption of water supply and in some cases very low water pressures. We recognize the inconvenience experienced by households and wish to inform the House that these challenges are being addressed through well-structured and technically sound interventions. The current demand for water, Madam Speaker, in Kansas is estimated at 26,000 meter cubed per day for a population of about 129,000, whilst the supply is estimated at 15,000 meter cubed per day, creating a deficit of about 11,000 meter cubed per day. Madam Speaker, indeed, allow me to begin by informing this August House that the loss of water supply in the affected areas of Ndeke, Ndeke Changachanga, Natwange, Mulenga, and neighboring communities was due to maintenance works that were being carried out by both ZESCO Limited and Kana Water Supply and Sanitation Company on Wednesday, 3rd and Thursday, 4th December 2025. Key constraints affecting Kamfisa's water supply has been inadequate storage and pumping capacity at the Ndeke Distribution Center. To address this challenge, government is undertaking significant upgrades under the Nkana Water and Supply Project Phase 2, valued at $60 million, which commenced in January 2023, with a total of $37 million having been dispersed for works to date. The existing system comprises 2 by 3,800 meter cubed groundwater tanks and 1,000 elevated water tank, totaling about 8,600 meter cubed. Under the ongoing distribution center expansion project, which is about 90% complete, government is constructing a new 12,000 meter cubed groundwater reservoir with an additional 1,000 elevated tank and a modern high completion. Madam Speaker, the total storage represents 150,000 enhancement, 150,000% enhancement. This will improve supply hours, water pressure, and increase system resilience. To complement the center, government is also constructing the Chamboli Distribution Center, which is currently at 65% completion and scheduled for commissioning in March 2026. The center includes a 1,000 meter cubed elevated tank and will stabilize supply to Sakile and surrounding areas. Madam Speaker, government has further noted the deteriorating condition of pipelines in Ndeke village. As part of the broader rehabilitate aging infrastructure and deliver safe and reliable government through the commercial utility is replacing old pipelines. To date, 5 kilometers out of the planned 12-kilometer pipelines have been replaced, improving water supply for over 1,400 residents in Gordon's Corner H section and Justin Kawe areas. In Ndeke Changachanga, government has replaced 2 kilometers of pipeline out of the planned 3.5 kilometers, enhancing supply reliability to over 800 residents. The new pipelines incorporate higher-grade materials, improved alignment, and enhanced pressure management, thereby significantly reducing leakages and improving water delivery efficiency. To augment water supply during peak periods, government has constructed 2 water schemes in Ndeke Changachaka and Ndeke H at a total cost high-yield commercial, which are solar-powered with submersive pumping units, 2 storage tanks on stands with a capacity of 10,000 each, and a 300-meter length of distribution interconnection networks. This intervention has further taken care of 1,200 residents, thereby strengthening overall water security in the 2 areas. Madam Speaker, to ensure that we protect our people from diseases, government has procured a vacuum 3.7 million kwacha to address sewer blockages in the Ndeke area. In addition, under the Kana Water Supply and Sanitation Project Phase 2, works are currently underway to replace and upgrade 2.3 kilometers of collapsed sewer lines. Madam Speaker, government has further undertaken various interventions in Kamfisa constituency. For example, in Natwange, The new Dawn government has extended the piped water network through a project implemented at a cost exceeding 6 million kwacha, benefiting almost 10,000 residents. These interventions will significantly improve water supply hours, strengthen distribution pressure, and ensure overall system stability in Ndeke, Kamfisa, and parts of Isakire. They demonstrate government's continued commitment to addressing the water challenges facing our communities and providing dependable water services to all citizens. Madam Speaker, government has also activated an emergency intervention involving the mobilization of 2 water bowsers to supplement water supply. Deployment schedules for the 2 bowsers have been drafted and are guided by real-time monitoring of pressure zones, supply deficits, and community demand patterns, ensuring that the most affected areas receive priority. To guarantee water safety, each delivery adheres to approved quality assurance protocols, including residual chlorine verification, sanitary inspection of tanks, and logging of delivery volumes. This provisional mobilization provides reliable short-term relief and ensures that residents maintain access to safe water as permanent infrastructure upgrades progress. In conclusion, Madam Speaker, government is implementing a comprehensive package of solutions, including infrastructure rehabilitation, network expansion, development of new water sources, and major upgrades to storage and pumping facilities. These interventions will ensure sustainable and permanent improvements to the water situation in Ndeke, Changachanga, Mulenga, and the wider Kamfisa constituency. They not only address current challenges, but also establish the foundational infrastructure required to support future population growth, economic activity, and industrial development. Government will continue to rigorously track implementation progress, enforce stringent quality assurance protocols, and ensure that all works are completed within schedule. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable members are now free to ask questions on points of clarification on the ministerial statement presented by the Honorable Minister of Water Development and Sanitation. The Honorable Member for Kamfisa.
Madam Speaker, thank you once again for inviting the Minister to come and issue a ministerial statement on the water challenges in Kamfisa constituency. Madam Speaker, today if we go to the Hansard, I think one of the most prominent problems I've presented has been the issue of access to water for the residents of Kamfisa constituency. Minister, in your response, you've listed a couple of measures that you are undertaking to resolve the problem. Unfortunately, Madam Speaker, the residents still don't have access to water. I'm aware that even yesterday, as I was arriving back from the constituency, I dealt with this problem, trying to assure residents that there are measures that are being taken, trying to allocate money from the Constituency Development Fund, doing water schemes, trying to resolve the problem. Unfortunately, Madam Speaker, there is still no water in the constituency. Minister, are you able to allocate time to go into the constituency, to go and verify this complaint coming from people that they don't have access to water? Madam Speaker, we can't have residents not having access to water. Minister, can we go to the constituency? We hold a community meeting, you hear from the people that are complaining, as opposed to officers giving you a statement to come and assure the residents. Madam Speaker, I speak with passion because we don't have water in the constituency. Madam Speaker, that is my first follow-up question. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Water Development and Sanitation.
Thank you very much for that very, very important question. And Madam Speaker, allow me to answer it very comprehensively. And I will start by commending the Honorable Member of Parliament. Whilst indeed challenges remain, Madam Speaker, in Kamfisa constituency, and particularly the Honorable Member of Parliament, has really tried to work closely with the ministry to resolve water challenges in Kamfisa. Madam Speaker, we, as a ministry, together with the Member of Parliament, have visited Kamfinsa constituency, in fact in Kana, the whole of Kana area, the whole of Kitwe, to see progress on this $60 million project, which is coming, which will be completed in March 2026. This project is basically a flagship project of the New Dawn government. You will recall, Madam Speaker, that challenges in Kitwe have been getting worse as far as water and sanitation are concerned. But the New Dawn government allocated about $60 million, and out of the $60 million, in the last 240 million being spent. Further, Madam Speaker, the Member of Parliament has allocated a lot of funds from CDF. And I mean, in fact, this is very, very important for me, Madam Speaker, because whilst the Member of Parliament may not see that we are making progress, even his own efforts, Madam Speaker, are bearing fruits. From CDF, there's been an improvement of water in the Ndeke area, in the Ndeke Presidential, in Kafisa Correction Facility, in Zamtan, in Mulenga Compound. And these have been spearheaded by the Member of Parliament. Together with the Member of Parliament, Madam Speaker, I'm in possession of another letter from Kitwe City Council, where together with the Member of Parliament, there will be 5 water schemes in Justin Kawe, Modern area, Mashula area, Mulenga area, and Wesley Nyirenda. There will be a water scheme constructed in Ndeke Presidential, a water scheme in Chamboli, a water scheme in Maploti, supply of plumbing areas. There are also various water schemes which we are doing with the Honorable Member of Parliament. I think, Honorable Member of Parliament, you must be proud of yourself. Just like as a ministry, we are proud of you, because you are one of the members of Parliament who's really put some money from CDF to resolve these issues. I can only appeal to other members of Parliament to emulate our colleague. I wish I could do what you've done in Kitwe, in Nangoma constituency, allocating so much water in your constituency. So we are moving forward. Let's not lament. The people of Kamfinsa have received a lot of water schemes through CDF, through the ministry, and now through the $60 million project which we are implementing in the city of Kitwe. I can assure the people of Kamfinsa that come March 2026, when this project will be commissioned, issues of low pressures, issues of inadequate supply, issues of small hours of supply will come to an end. Kamfinsa actually will host the biggest storage facility in the whole of Kitwe. The distribution network is also being expanded. I think, Madam Speaker, we look forward to very, very good days in Kamfinsa. Kamfinsa will have enough water come March, April 2026. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. The Honorable Member was inviting you to go together to Kamfinsa to go and address people, not for a debate, but just to reassure people.
As a matter of fact, let me confirm that every time I'm in Kitwe, I've called the Member of Parliament. I think the last 2 times he was also busy with other engagements. We inspect this project, Madam Speaker, very, very frequently. We inspect a company called Chico, which is doing a very, very good job in that area. Quality, timely delivery of the project. I think he can attest to that. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Member for Kwacha.
Indeed, Madam, thank you for, Madam Speaker, thank you for the opportunity given to ask the Minister of Water Development a follow-up question. Honorable Minister, this is a very, very important subject which my colleague, the MP for Kamfinsa has raised, looking at the challenges which people of Kamfinsa, and not only Kamfinsa, but also outlying areas like in my area, Kwacha, because it's just my neighbor, including Usakila and other outlying areas. These are challenges that we are facing, non-availability of water. And I wanted to just allude to what you've mentioned in terms of the measures that we are putting in place. Just augment what you've mentioned to suggest, if at all we can have a separate water treatment plant in the southern part of the town, because the only plant that we have is in the northern part, in Kwacha constituents, and that is Bulangiriro. And of course, there is another one that is being put up. But then looking at the population which is growing on a daily basis, I think even then it will be very difficult to supply water to the entire parts of Kitwe, because the pressures will not be enough to pump up to areas like Kamfinsa and Usakile. So my suggestion probably through you and your ministry is to come up with measures to put up another treatment plant in the southern part of the town, specifically in Kamfinsa, so that we can have this problem sorted once and for all. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Water Development and Sanitation.
Madam Speaker, I was very, very clear in my statement that the challenge in providing water to our people is not about treatment of the water. It's not about production. It's about storage and distribution. It's about pumping capacity. So this is what this project under the Nkana Water Phase 2 is doing. So this, after completion of this $60 million project, there will be 150% increase in the storage capacity. So we're moving to now 21,600 meter cubed of storage capacity. Then we are installing new pumps. We're also extending the distribution network. Kamfinsa, which is affected so much, is the one which will house actually the biggest storage facility. So we are going to increase storage capacity. We are going to increase the distribution network. We're also going to increase the pumping capacity. We believe that with these measures in place, the water deficit will be reduced. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Chimwemwe.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, we appreciate your ministerial statement. Similar issues, water crisis in Kamfinsa, are actually throughout Kitwe, even Chimwemwe. Honorable Minister, as much as we await to see what will happen to the Phase 2 as it completes, the biggest problem we have, Honorable Minister, is the leakage, non-revenue water. Honorable Minister, I know that you're doing, you've told us that you're actually changing pipes, but the rate at which the pipes are being changed, Honorable Minister, is taking too long. Even if the Phase 2 comes to completion, Honorable Minister will still not have those the water into our homes simply because the pipes are leaking. Do you have any other plans to ensure that perhaps you increase labor to change the pipes, or perhaps you find another subcontractor to help? Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. I hope the Honorable Minister understood, because at the end the English changed. The Honorable Minister of Water Development and Sanitation.
Indeed, the English from my colleague is very complicated, but I was able to get him. Madam Speaker, yes, indeed, we are doing maintenance works on that line, including replacing old and dilapidated pipes. Actually, the small-sized pipes, we are replacing them with the bigger-sized pipes, in fact, of a higher quality. As we replace these, remember the line is live. So we do shutdowns as we replace these lines. That's one thing. The other thing is that the length, the amount of work we have to do and the costs are quite high. So we are phasing this replacement of pipes. But I can only assure you that we are very, very committed to doing this, and soon and very soon the old pipes will be replaced. I can also assure you that after replacing these pipes, our residents will receive more hours of supply of this water for their use. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Kaumbwe.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, you've mentioned that on 4th December, somewhere there there was a maintenance works that were carried out in Kamfinsa water supply distribution system. What did the maintenance address? Was it the deficit of 11,000 cubic meters per day, or just what did it address? Because if it addressed the problem, maybe this question would have not come through. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Water Development and Sanitation.
I stated in my statement clearly that it was Nkana Water and ZESCO. So it was mainly issues of energy supply which affected the disruption of water supply on the 3rd and 4th of November. Madam Speaker, thank you.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Member for Usakili.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity to ask a question. Minister, in responding to the question in your ministerial statement, I noticed that you have outlined the entire project, Kitwe Chambeshi Karurush project, and you attributed the 1 million liter at Luangwa, that it will supplement the Kamfinsa constituency. Minister, this is a project that has dragged due to erratic funding by your government. What assurance are you going to give the people who are deeply affected by this project, people of Luangwa, Chamboi SOS, and many parts of Sakile constituency? What assurance are you giving them in terms of beating the timeline of March that you have stated in your statement? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Water Development and Sanitation.
Madam Speaker, I didn't want to go there where you're saying erratic funding by government. But since you have gone there, let me respond. Before the UPND took over office, you couldn't pay anything. The debt was too big. The $200 million project was on hold. This project was rescoped by the UPND government. This project was rescoped. The whole $60 million I'm telling you about was paid by that man, the Honorable Musokotwan. $37 million. Currently, and the Honorable Kangombe will tell you, that's why we are not doing politics here. We are current with payments with Chico. We are current with timelines. We are current with the quality of the project. I don't go there, because in the water sector is where you got big projects, you had no funding, and this is where projects were suspended in the water sector. In Kaoma, in Mango, in Ndola, in Mufurira, in Chingola, lot of these projects you couldn't pay at all. You couldn't. You must appreciate that this government is now paying. Chico is current.
Order. Order, honorable members. Honorable member for Usakile, you asked a question. Please do not interject while the minister is answering. Restrain yourself. If you want to ask or to explain yourself later, you can indicate and you'll be given that opportunity. So don't interject and start shouting while you are waiting for your answer. Thank you very much. May the Honorable Minister continue.
Madam Speaker, I'm restraining myself because I wish you could order me to come with a ministerial statement on failed water projects by PF. It will be 1,000 pages, Madam Speaker. 1,000. But let me restrain myself. Madam Speaker, let me assure the people of Kitwe, the people where the integrated small towns projects are, that all the projects we took over, rescoped, and committed funding, we are paying. As it is, Honorable Member of Parliament for Kangombe, we are current with payments with Chico. The project is not behind schedule. We will deliver this project in March 2026. So the people must be assured we are not like you. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you very much. So, Honorable Member for Wusakile, you've asked a question. The question was being answered. Now you are raising a point of order. What's the point of order?
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity to raise a point of order on the Minister of Water. Madam Speaker, is the Minister in order to mislead this House? Because I've said they have no manners, government. This term is using rescoping. The project was $220 million. They had no money. They rescoped to $59.9 million. So I was just right because I'm the one, even when he comes in the field, I'm the only member of parliament who goes with him in the field. Is he in order to refute that there's been erratic funding? Because after rescoping, November 2022, they only advanced a $5 million. Thereafter, very recent is when we saw other payments. So is he in order to mislead? Standing order number 71, Madam Speaker.
Order, honorable members. So, the honorable member for Usakire was asking a question for which he had an answer already. So when you ask questions, honorable members, let's wait for the answer. If we have an answer already, we will not be able to listen to the answer that is being provided. You see, I don't know today, honorable member for Usakire, I think he has come in some mood. He's come to fight somehow. But we are peaceful people here, please. Let's maintain peace, peace, peace. Please. So let's make progress. The honorable member for Kamfinsa. So first of all, the point of order is not admitted. Honorable member for Kamfinsa.
Madam Speaker, I did ask the minister if he's available for us to go into the constituency to go and verify these complaints coming from residents. I haven't been given that assurance that as Parliament adjourns, we can schedule a trip into the constituency to go and verify these problems. My second follow-up question, Madam Speaker, with your permission. Minister of Water, you are aware that currently we are getting water from the Nkana East Water Treatment Plant. The water is pumped into 17th Avenue in Nkana East. Then the water is pumped into the showgrounds where the Ndeke DC is, quite a long distance. And along the way, we have challenges of water leakages. So by the time this new tank you are proposing, which is under construction, will be complete, we'll still have a problem with the water going into the tank, Honorable Minister. My follow-up question, therefore, the ministry has funding for such challenges where they have a specific problem to attend to. I thought that maybe today you would give us assurance that we can get funding from the ministry to go and provide some short-term interventions. The water schemes that we are doing under Constituency Development Fund, Minister, we are spending close to 1.5 million kwacha on one water scheme with 3 tanks. I'm sure the ministry can find money, 10 million kwacha specifically, even 15 million kwacha specifically, just to take into Kamfinsa to provide this relief that our residents, Madam Speaker, are asking for. My follow-up question, therefore, is the ministry able to find money, apart from the capital project, which is quite comprehensive, to provide this solution that has already demonstrated some mitigation measures? Madam Speaker, that is my second question. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Water Development and Sanitation.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The answer to can we go there, yes, I'm available like I've been available, but can you also be available because twice I've called you, have not come to the site meetings, twice. Twice I've called you. Available, yes. I think to answer your question comprehensively, we have to understand that for water to reach a customer down in the house there's production of water, there's storage of water, there's transmission of water, there's distribution. All these are networks. So we are isolating problems. One problem we identified quickly is that we have a storage problem. That's why we have that storage problem. The other one is the transmission network. And I said very clearly that we are replacing pipes. Where there are leakages, where there's high non-revenue water, we are looking at all of those. But we are also going to expand the distribution system. Indeed, you are doing a lot of works or piped water schemes with CDF, just like the ministry is also putting in money to do some piped water schemes in your constituency. So working together, we believe that will provide enough water to our people. For the member of lastly, for the member of parliament for Sakile, let me confirm once again that we are current with payments to Chico, and Chico will deliver the project in March 2026. You have to listen to me, because there's only one Minister of Water and Development and Sanitation in the country, and that one is Collins Nzovu. So I'm the one seated here giving you the information. How can you argue with me when you are not a Minister of Water? Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Order, honorable members. Okay, now that we have I have your attention, we can make progress. Question for oral answer under Standing Order 82. The Honorable Member for Kapoche.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Question number 120.
The Honorable Minister of Local Government and Rural Development.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much. The Honorable Member of Parliament for Kapoche constituency asks the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development whether the government is aware that the following crossing points in Kapoche parliamentary constituency have been washed away. 1, Lemi in Luanda's ward. 2, Chingombe in Chingombe ward. And 3, Miezi in Nchembwe ward. And if so, what urgent measures the government is taking to avert loss of lives and ensure there is access to essential facilities, such as clinics and schools. Madam Speaker, in responding to my honorable colleague, government is aware that the following crossing points have been washed away in the Kapoche parliamentary constituency, which is Remi in Rwandazi ward, Chingombe in Chingombe ward, and Miezi in Chembwe ward. The following measures, Madam Speaker, have been taken to avert loss of lives and ensure there is access to essential facilities such as school and clinics. In number 1, Lemi Bridge in Rwandazi ward has been designed and costed at 1.3 million kwacha. Construction is expected to start immediately using the motor vehicle licensing funds available at the local authority. 2, Chingombe crossing point is already under contract, which was awarded by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development for the construction of crossing points in 3 districts, namely Sinda, Chadiza, and Rusangazi. Works have commenced in Chadiza and they are expected to commence anytime soon in Chingombe ward. In Miezi, Madam Speaker, the bridge is being assessed in order to come up with the appropriate design and bills of quantities. It is envisaged to be constructed using the 2025 Constituency Development Fund allocation. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. Supplementary questions? The Honorable Member for Kapoche.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much for this opportunity to the people of Kapoche. Minister, also attentive to the answers that you are giving to the people of Kapoche. Yes, indeed, the council is doing, at least they're trying to do something, which me as a member of parliament for Kapoche, I've noticed that they have failed the people of Kapoche. Why do I say, Madam Speaker? This crossing point was washed away in last year. And I've tried all avenues. I've been to RDA, I've been to local government in Chipata, I've been to the council, even to the ministry, but there's nothing that has been happening up to date. My follow-up question to you, Honorable Minister, is as you have stated that the bridge was assessed around 1.2 million. When exactly do you think this bridge can be finalized? Because the people of Kapoche have been waiting and they have gone through a lot of stress because they can either cross to the other side to access medical facilities, even the pupils attending school. Madam Speaker, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Minister of Local Government and Rural Development.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much, and I would like to thank my dear colleague for a follow-up question. Madam Speaker, let me bridge the money is there. It is with the local authority, which is 1.3 million kwacha. Now, the area member of parliament has raised a very serious concern where saying the local authority seem to have let the people of Kapoche constituents down. I'll be engaging. I believe the honorable colleague can come tomorrow at the office so that I talk to the director of rural development. We call the local authority to find out exactly where the problem is. Since the resources are there, there is no need of making the MP and the people of Kapoche suffer when resources are made available. So I'm just urging my dear colleague that tomorrow we can meet at the office so that at least I call the technical team at ministerial level to engage the local authority together. We call the local authority and find a lasting solution. I feel for the MP, but a solution will be found tomorrow. Thank you so much.
So, Honorable Member for Kapoche, you've heard the invitation. Your face is not changing. You are not showing any happiness, so you're continuing. So there is an invitation. Please do engage. As we wait for, we can start with the Honorable Member for Ron for supplementary question.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. And Honorable Minister, thank you very much for the response for the people of Kapoche. Honorable Minister, my colleague, the Honorable Member for Kapoche, has lamented actually that there are very, very important requirements in terms of facilities, such as health facilities and schools on the other side of the stream. My question, Honorable Minister, knowing very well that in your response you have indicated that you are geared and you are going to help the people of Kapoche to put up those crossing points. But looking at these two important factors, health and education, and we are in the rain season, are there any interim measures, the immediate interim measures, Honorable Minister, that you can think of with your technical team to ensure that people do cross to and from the crossing points? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Local Government and Rural Development.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much. And the Honourable Member of Parliament, I would like to thank you for a follow-up question. Madam Speaker, if the resources were not there, we would have been looking at the temporal measure. Now resources are there, so meaning that something that should be done for the people of Kapoche is a permanent solution. So if there is some inertia by the local authority, I believe tomorrow that will be sorted out. Resources are there, they just have to work. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Kapoche.
Madam Speaker, thank you once more. I agree and disagree with the Minister when he said funds are available. Why do I say so, Madam Speaker? The other crossing point which was procured, I think that was early this year, up to date, the contractor is not on site. Now, this one, which he said something is being done and very soon it will be done. If the first one, they are failing to implement, how sure is he that this one is going to be executed so soon? Madam Speaker, I've been standing on the floor of this House. I think I've brought a number of challenges, e.g. the road from Sinda to Nyanje, where there's the only hospital. I was assured here on the floor of the House that this road was going to be worked on. But up to date, Madam Speaker, talk about the dams. There are so many challenges that we have. So the executive, they are giving us answers just to please us. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Today is a day. The Honorable Minister for Local Government and Rural Development and Local Government.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much. And I would like to thank my dear colleague, the Member of Parliament for Kapoche, for the follow-up question. Madam Speaker, I'm very much aware as Minister in charge of the ministry to say recently there are some contracts that were awarded and signed. And in some areas, contractors have already moved on site. I'm here to get the exact position, but the position that I've stated here is exactly what is happening. I get the feeling of the Member of Parliament. I'm not sugarcoating anything, Madam Speaker, other than to just evolve around to say, please, tomorrow, if I'm lying, sorry, if I'm not telling the truth, tomorrow will be the day. I urge you tomorrow so that you judge me correctly. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Honorable Member for Kapoche, at least show some reaction. You are so cold like water. Okay, thank you. The Honorable Member for Lundazi.
It's better I support my brother. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister of Local Government, you have indicated that you have 1.3 million in the account, or maybe that is what the local council has, and yet the Honorable Member of Parliament indicated that they need almost 2 million. What magic are you going to do between now and tomorrow when you bring the answer to raise the money from 1.3 to 2 million? Because maybe that is why the council is failing to implement, because the monies are not enough. I submit, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Minister of Local Government and Rural Development.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member of Parliament for Lundazi, for that follow-up question. Madam Speaker, for the works to be undertaken, the local authorities or any other organization that comes up with what is termed as a bill of quantities. The response that we are getting, Madam Speaker, that I have delivered today, basically came from the same Kapoche parliamentary constituency, which is a local authority there. If 1.3 million, according to their BOQ, is not enough, there is the ministry. Now that they have stated to say 1.3 million is enough to do the Remi crossing points, I will take it to the gospel truth to say, according to their BOQ, that is the money that is required to take one crossing point. So to say I have to make a magic and raise it to 2 million, I'll be doing something against what the BOQ states. So the responses basically are technical responses arising from the assessment that was made by the local authority there. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. Next question. Oh no, question for oral answer. Question for oral answer, understanding order 80. The Honorable Member for Chimba Milonga.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Question 121.
The Honorable Minister of Energy.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Honorable Member for Chimba Milonga constituency is asking the Minister of Energy a question in three parts. A, when the following wards in Chimba Milonga constituency will be electrified under phase 2 of rural electrification project? 1, Munwa. 2, Mikose, Kapinda, Mululu, Kakusu, Kashikishi, Lusangwe, Chishi, Fungwa, Kakoma, and Mwembeshi. In B, why the project has delayed. And in C, Madam Speaker, what measures are being taken to expedite the process. Madam Speaker, our response is as follows. In A, according to Rural Electrification Master Plan, phase 2 of the project will start in 2027, subject to the availability of funds. In B, the government through Rural Electrification Authority and the ZESCO jointly conducted a feasibility study in 2022. However, due to inadequate funds, Rural Electrification Authority adopted a phased approach of electrifying Chimba Milonga constituents. Madam Speaker, in 2023, RIA implemented phase 1 of the rural electrification project at the contract sum of 17.2 million to electrify Mutundu and Chishela wards. The remaining wards, Madam Speaker, are scheduled to be electrified starting in 2027. In C, Madam Speaker, the Rural Electrification Authority through Ministry of Energy will continue engaging the Ministry of Finance and National Planning to ensure that funds for the electrification of the above-mentioned wards are secured. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. Supplementary questions, the Honorable Member for Chimba Milonga.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm actually taken aback. Your predecessor stood on the floor of this House and assured the people of Chimba Milonga that phase 1 was going to be done at the sum of 18.1 million. Then phase 2 was going to be done at 17.1, which you have already alluded to. Now, what has happened to the money that he said was already set aside to do phase 2? Where has it evaporated to? Thank you.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Minister of Energy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Like I have responded, Madam Speaker, that these projects will be done in the phased manner, and phase 1 was already done, like I have stated, and phase 2, Madam Speaker, is scheduled for 2027. And this is because of limited resources that we have. And Madam Speaker, it has to be known that there are a number of projects across the country that are being done by RIA. Now, to allocate these resources, sometimes it will see us taking time. But the Honorable Member must be rest assured that the projects will be done. We are doing all what it takes to make sure that we finish the remaining wards in our loved constituency, Chimba Milonga. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Today is firefighting. I have not yet called on. And it's unusual for the Honorable Member for Chimba Milonga to ask a question. But now that he has asked, I'll give you your second opportunity. The Honorable Member for Chimba Milonga.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It would appear to me that both the money which was set aside for phase 1 and phase 2 have been used on phase 1 only. Now, I would like to find out from you, what is your estimated cost for the next phase, which you say will be done in 2027? Thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Energy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The second phase, Madam Speaker, is estimated at a cost of 41.3 million kwacha. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Member for Chimbamilonga has gotten the number 41.3 million kwacha. The Honorable Member for Bahati.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Minister, your phase 2 to me seems to be so expensive. 42 million kwacha for electrifying rural villages. Why can't you opt to go for a solar solution? Because it will be much cheaper than connecting those villages to the grid. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Some statistics would have helped. The Honorable Minister of Energy.
Thank you very much. Maybe, Madam Speaker, the reason why the Honorable Member is saying phase 2 looks like it's, quite expensive. Probably, maybe he has not looked at the details. The phase 1, why it looks to be cheaper, is we had to just to do only 2 wards. That's what we did. In phase 2, we are doing so many of them of what is remaining. That's why you see as if 41.3 is quite expensive. But also, you must understand that through the programs that we are putting in place, we have projects that we have scheduled for solar power. So these things are moving side by side. We are not just sticking to one thing. So, Madam Speaker, Chimbamilonga will have even projects that will be powered through solar and the national grid. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Private members' motion. The Honorable Member for Kalavo Central.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that this House urges the government to strengthen the protection and the rights of persons with albinism.
Is the motion seconded?
Yes, Madam Speaker, the motion is seconded.
Order, Honorable Members, order. Seconded by the Honorable Member for Bahati. The question is that this House urges the government to strengthen protection and rights of persons with albinism. Any debate? The Honorable Member for Kalavo Central.
Madam Speaker, albinism is a relatively rare, non-contagious, genetically inherited condition.
So, sorry, let me hear it correctly. Non-contagious or non-contagious? I just want to be clear. You may...
Contagious means it cannot be transmitted to another person.
Okay, I got it. I thought you were saying non-contagious. Okay, so non-contagious. You are correct. Proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. A genetically inherited condition that affects people regardless of race, ethnicity, or gender. The condition is characterized by a significant deficit of the production of melanin, which results in the partial or complete absence of pigment in any part or all of the skin, hair, and eyes. Global prevalence and data of persons with albinism. Albinism occurs in all racial and ethnic groups across the world, but the proportion of people affected by albinism in a given population varies by region. In Africa, the prevalence of albinism generally ranges from 1 person in 5,000 to as low as 1 person in 15,000. It has been reported that some selected populations in Southern Africa have prevalence rates as high as 1 in 1,000 people. Despite the importance of reliable data, few countries collect official data on albinism, and even fewer collect disaggregated data. A growing number of African countries are undertaking surveys targeting people with albinism, and some are including people with albinism in censuses. These include Cote d'Ivoire, Malawi, Namibia, Sierra Leone, Kenya, Uganda, Nigeria, and the United Republic of Tanzania. Madam Speaker, social development challenges of persons with albinism. Persons with albinism often face severe poverty due to potential health complications and rampant discrimination, notably in developing countries and least developed countries. They are also less likely to access high-quality health services, education, and employment opportunities, or to meaningfully participate in the community. Aside from the health implication of albinism, persons with albinism often face discrimination, prejudice, stigma, and social exclusion due to misconceptions and traditional beliefs that associate albinism with superstition and witchcraft. These misconceptions have perpetuated harmful practices such as the abduction and mutilation of persons with albinism for their body parts, which are believed to possess magical properties. And people with albinism are subjected to name calling. A study from Sierra Leone found that 80% of people with albinism are called derogatory names. In Malawi, for example, people are called Azungu, meaning white person. Or in Brazil, they are called peeled cockroaches and white rats. In Malaysia, they are called ghosts or white people. Regionally, there have been growing recognition of albinism within the disability rights framework. In Tanzania, for example, there is under Persons with Disability Act number 9 of 2010. Albinism is recognized as disability, ensuring access to social services, health care, and protection measures. In Malawi, it's under Disability Act of 2012. Also classifies albinism as a disability, guaranteeing inclusion in national disability programs and affirmative action initiatives. We are looking at the Zambia perspective. Zambia had 64,026 persons with albinism as recorded in a national census conducted in 2022. The top 5 of 10 provinces with persons with albinism in the country are Western Province, Copperbelt Province, Lusaka Province, Central Province, and Northern Province. Now, Madam Speaker, the challenges faced by persons with albinism. 1. Right to life and freedom from torture of cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. Persons with albinism in the country generally have a lower life expectancy owing to multiple factors including skin cancer, HIV/AIDS, due to the high sexual intercourse with persons with albinism can cure the AIDS, the disease, and harmful practices related to the manifestation of belief in witchcraft. Persons with albinism mostly have safety concerns stemming from social prejudice driven by harmful traditional beliefs and connected to the trafficking of human parts to nearby countries. Right to health. According to the Albino Foundation of Zambia, Madam Speaker, a great challenge facing Zambians with albinism is overexposure to sunlight, which makes a person with albinism susceptible to skin cancer due to the skin condition which does not protect them from ultraviolet light from the sun. In order to protect themselves from this cancer vulnerability, they need to apply to their skin a sunscreen cream. Now, this cream is very expensive in private pharmacies, and this cream is rarely found in public clinics where they should be dispensed freely. Madam Speaker, attacks of persons with albinism. In the recent past, as a country, we have witnessed some ritual attacks of persons with albinism. Some of them are, 1, in 2018, Madam Speaker, a pregnant woman with albinism in Mchinga province was attacked and brutally mutilated when her right hand was cut off.
Honorable Member, your time is running out, so I don't know how far. It has run out, so if you can quickly wind up. You are almost there. Too many pages.
Anyway, Madam Speaker, I therefore beg that the House urges to the government to strengthen the protection and rights of persons with albinism. I beg to move.
Thank you very much. What you've left out, you can, when you are winding up, maybe you can bring them out if they, just summarize them. So any further debate? The Honorable Member for, let's start with the Honorable Member for Mbawala. Oh, sorry, yeah, I'm running. Does the Seconda wish to speak now or later?
Now, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Member for Bahati.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, allow me to first of all thank my honorable colleague, Honorable Chinga Mutu from Kalabo, for bringing on the floor this very important motion. Madam Speaker, the movers right to put it that we have about 65,000 people living with albinism in the country. Madam Speaker, this represents about 0.00325% of our population. Madam Speaker, why the government should strengthen protections of persons with albinism, why is this important? And Madam Speaker, with your indulgence, allow me to refer to my copious notes. Madam Speaker, protect lives and uphold human rights. Persons with albinism in Zambia face a very real risk of violence, including abductions, mutilations, ritual attacks, and even murder driven by harmful myths that their bodies have magic powers. They are threatened, Madam Speaker, while they are alive, and Madam Speaker, they are even followed to their graves for the body parts. Madam Speaker, strengthening legal protections, enforcement mechanisms, and access to justice helps guarantee their basic right to life, safety, dignity, and freedom from torture or ill treatment. Promote social cohesion, dignity, and human rights leadership. Madam Speaker, upholding the rights of persons with albinism aligns with the national and international commitments of human rights, equality, and non-discrimination. Madam Speaker, I must state here that albinism is recognized as a disability in the laws of the UN as well as in the laws of the WHO. By protecting a historical marginalized group, the government, Madam Speaker, strengthens social solidarity and sends a clear message that all citizens, regardless of disability or appearance, deserve dignity, protection, and equal opportunities. This can foster a more inclusive, just, and stable society. There have been documented killings, Madam Speaker, like the mover put it, of persons with albinism in Zambia and in our neighboring countries. Madam Speaker, we've heard how someone was chased just because he was an albino in a country which I do not want to name, but it's a country which is our neighbor. Madam Speaker, a recent expert review noted that since 2014, there have been at least 11 killings in Zambia. By establishing specific laws, policies, and enforcement frameworks, the government can better track violations, ensure investigations and prosecutions to deter future attacks. Madam Speaker, people with albinism are especially vulnerable to skin cancer, and the mover talked about this. And Madam Speaker, like the mover said, the sunscreens that are used for skin cancer in persons with albinism are expensive. And the effective brands, Madam Speaker, are very, very expensive. And you can't find these effective brands in our rural parts where we come from. I have a case as well, Madam Speaker, or I may say that I have cases in my constituents. I have a little girl who's about 12 years in the village called Kavende in Mr. Kalala Ward. I've got another case in Motowankoko village. And Madam Speaker, it's so difficult for these families to afford sunscreen and other products. That's why, Madam Speaker, we're advocating that government, through the Ministry of Health, should procure sunscreens and distribute to big hospitals within the country. Madam Speaker, maybe sunscreen should be included in the rural health kit that the Ministry of Health gives to our rural communities. Madam Speaker, persons with disability often face stigma, discrimination, social exclusion, and limited access to education, healthcare, and employment. Madam Speaker, evidence from recent studies and reports indicate that a 2024 report titled Albinism and Rights in Zambia documented widespread stigma, discrimination, health risks, and life-threatening dangers. Madam Speaker, disability, albinism is a lifelong condition. And Madam Speaker, this cannot be reversed by any technologies that we have at the moment. But Madam Speaker, it can be managed. Yes, honorable members, albinism can be managed. And this is the reason why we're asking government to strengthen the laws that govern people living with disability and protect our colleagues who are albinos. Madam Speaker, the broader benefits for the government and society include: one, strengthening protection and rights of persons with albinism. The government would, I beg your pardon, Madam Speaker, the government would ensure safety dignity, equality for a vulnerable and marginalized population, reduce human rights violations, including violent crimes, thereby upholding the rule of law, improve public health and reduce long-term treatment and social welfare costs, foster social cohesion, inclusion, and respect for diversity, and demonstrate leadership in human rights, fulfilling national and international obligations, and promoting Zambia's image as a society committed to protecting vulnerable populations. Madam Speaker, there are so many myths surrounding albinism, but what I would want to state as I conclude is that albinism does not affect the lifespan of a person who's living with this condition. Madam Speaker, with these few words, I beg to second the motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any further debate? The Honorable Member for Mbabala.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for giving the good people of Mbabala an opportunity to support the motion, the private members of motion, as ably moved by Honorable Miotu from Kalabo and ably seconded by Honorable Chibombwe from Bahati. I must say, Madam Speaker, that as Parliamentary Caucus on Disability, Inclusion and Rights, we are very much concerned about the issues of protection of persons with albinism. And we are happy, Madam Speaker, to see this motion come to the floor of the House so that this House can reaffirm its commitment in line with the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, which Zambia not only ratified, but domesticated through the Disabilities Act of 2012, which now, Madam Speaker, needs an amendment so that we can include the protection of persons with albinism under the rightful classification of albinism being a disability, because it is fully recognized in the convention which Zambia ratified that albinism is a disability. And unfortunately, in our local laws, it's not yet classified as a disability. Hence, when it comes to things like social cash transfer, we have categories such as mild disability, which then allows other people not to access social cash transfer and others being able to access. Now, Madam Speaker, disability is disability, and of course it's not inability, but once one is categorized as disabled, it can no longer be mild or anything in that nature. It should just be simply classified as a disability. So that is one of the emphasis points which we would like to emphasize as a caucus. Madam Speaker, we also, apart from the issue of classification, we also want to talk about the right to life, which persons with albinism should enjoy, just like any other human being and citizen of this republic. It is very painful, Madam Speaker.
All the honorable members, can we listen to the debate?
Thank you so much,
There's a lot of debate. If we will get to there, but let's just do the... May the honorable member continue, but can we reduce on the talking?
Yeah.
You may proceed.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. I was just talking about how painful it is. Just a few weeks ago, I was interacting with one of a person with albinism whose hand was taken off by an arrangement of her former teacher and some other members of the community. I think Honorable Nyirenda will resonate to this, and I hope she comes on to debate because she's one of our champions in this subject. Because this happened in Rundazi Chama area, where the young lady, his hand was chopped. And this young lady was with us just a week or two ago. And I was very pained to see this kind of inhuman action by fellow citizens, by people who were supposed to protect and support this young lady. Instead, they chose to cut away her hand and try to sell her hand. So these kinds of brutality that happen to persons with albinism require that we enhance the legal framework to protect persons with albinism. We will need to enhance the laws, if anything, make the attack on persons with albinism unbearable, and increase the consequences which are in the penal code to make it a life sentence for attacks on persons with albinism. Because, Madam Speaker, as read from the statistics, 64,000 plus persons with albinism, and so many attacks, which are happening around the country, even in the provinces, because we were originally thinking it's only in one direction, but when you look at the data, it's all over the country. And we want to ensure that we cut this brutality before it escalates. Because albinism can be anywhere. Even in my own family, I have a nephew with albinism. So it is important that we protect these people, and that experience which I mentioned, Madam Speaker, is very, very touching, as I saw it with the young lady from the Eastern Province. Madam Speaker, another addition is the issues of health issues in terms of skin cancers, that we need to support persons with albinism with the right sunscreen. Right now, indeed, the Ministry of Health is doing a commendable job buying sunscreen. But this sunscreen needs to reach the last mile. It needs to be part and parcel of the health kit that reaches the health center. So every health center must be able, when they open their kit, there must be sunscreen so that those who need to use it can actually utilize it. And because they need to test which sunscreen works out for them, the person with albinism need to test. So there must be various varieties of sunscreen that go to the last mile, to the last place where we send the drugs. As we are sending all the drugs, we must have sunscreen in that kit. That way, we will be eradicating the cancers which our friends, when they are exposed to sunlight, they end up with those cancers, which we don't want to have, but which we want to protect them from such things that may actually affect their quality of life. So this also goes to other areas of services to ensure that they enjoy quality education, they enjoy a healthy lifestyle, and they are able to interact. So we need to ensure that we remove the stigma within the families, we remove the stigma in society by enhancing the legal framework and protection of persons with albinism, as well as, like I mentioned, amending our legal framework in the Disabilities Act of 2012, including adopting the Africa Disability Protocol that also covers this issue ably. And as we are in the month of disability, because December 3 was International Day of Persons with Disabilities, this issue of the African Disability Protocol was ably presented by persons with disabilities. Madam Speaker, with this motion, the people of Mbabara wish to support its adoption, and we want to encourage this House to actually follow up with the enhanced registration to protect persons with albinism. Madam Speaker, with these remarks, I thank you.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Member for Lundazi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving a chance to the people of Lundazi to really state categorically that we are in full support of this motion on the floor of the House, ably moved by Honorable Miutu and also seconded by Bahati MP, highly debated by the chairperson, Honorable Member Honorable Munsanje. Madam Speaker, being a mother who we are, you do not know what you are carrying, and when you deliver, you would want to definitely see that the child that you give birth to is not harmed in any way by anyone. Madam Speaker, coming from Lundazi, indeed, I want to agree with what Honorable Munsanje indicated, that one of the girls, the young lady, was actually, they used a machete and they cut off her hand. When they took that left hand, they told them, no, you have brought the wrong hand. Can you go back? You need to pick the right hand. Now you can imagine how the parents have really been running around to try and secure the life of this young lady. Madam Speaker, in Lundazi, this is not the first time. There is a young man called Ernest Mtonga, may his soul rest in peace. He was hacked and killed. And after he was killed, the people who were arrested with some of the parts, one of them has run away from Namseche prison. Meaning that we have not had really gotten the real information of who that particular woman could have been and who were sending her. Madam Speaker, living with albinism has become a danger. I'm coming from Lundazi constituency, where most of these actually atrocities have happened, and when I'm interacting with the people, Madam Speaker, it's even difficult for you to access them and call them in a meeting at once, because they really have to be sure that it is not someone who is going to harm them. When we had a workshop, Madam Speaker, to come and see how we can come up with this motion, it was quite a challenge, because some of the revelations can really move you, and you can really feel bad, especially as a parent. Madam Speaker, the reason why they say people who are albinos or people who are living with albinism just disappear, it's not because they disappear. It's because the relatives are scared to even point that this is where we buried this particular individual. People living with albinism are being hunted when they are alive, and they are followed to the grave when they are buried. Hence the belief that abantu badangwaleza sibamashikiwa. It's not that they don't die or they don't get buried, but it's because the families choose to live a life of security and hiding, so that no one should even know where they have been buried. Whilst you and me and others here can die, and we'll even put a tombstone, here lies the remains of Brenda Nyirenda, died at this time. But for a person living with albinism, they can never put that, because they'll be following that grave due to rituals and due to beliefs, and just this idea of thinking, when I kill someone who is an albino, then I'll be able to have a lot of money. Very wrong beliefs which surround the idea of someone who just had a melanine challenge in the development. Madam Speaker, I would want to state that the parents, especially in my constituents, I have one parent who I can't even mention where they live because they may feel betrayed, but somewhere in Mchereka, the man came and told me, I have these two children, I can't take them to school because it will mean that I have to be closer to the school premises so that when they learn, I get the children and then I take them back. Meanwhile, this individual is a farmer and he has, you see, these small gardens where he needs to raise. So they have to exchange. The wife is with the children and then it is him. So you'll find that it is really a challenge for them to even have their freedom. Madam Speaker, we have people living with albinism in Kamilenje. In that area, Madam Speaker, they have been attacked many times. And last year, we even we asked the police at Mwase to maybe move them closer to a house which is within Mwase area so that they can be protected. Otherwise, every time they would go, if they hear knocks, they will start running for their lives. Madam Speaker, it's important that indeed, as a government, we can be able to give extra care to these individuals, because every individual has a right to life, has a right to association, has a right to get an education, and they also have a right to this good life and also association. Madam Speaker, in addition, the people living with albinism have heard of the procurement of the, the cream which they use. Unfortunately, some of the creams, when they are procured, you find that skin A can be able to, tolerate this particular kind of cream. But skin B will not be able to, tolerate. So you'll find that some of the creams which have been procured centrally, when they are used on the people, some of them are developing more rashes. And the worst, Madam Speaker, which we learned during one of the interactions, was that the people with albinism, they are, prone to cancers. As we are talking right now, Madam Speaker, maybe we have 2 who are in UTH coming from Lundazi, because the whole ear has been eaten up due to cancer. And Madam Speaker, I wanted to speak this to the issue of climate change. The resources that are given to, the abuse, or maybe how we are cutting down trees, we do not understand that this can have an effect on some of the people living with albinism, especially due to their weather and other things. So some of the activities that we are doing as individuals, they will have an effect on the people who are living with albinism. Hence, some of the funds which are supposed to go and support this climate change should also be going directly to ensure that the rights and the people living with albinism are able to live a life to the full satisfactory. Madam Speaker, with these few remarks, I would want to say that I support this motion, and may the government take it up and ensure that we give a dignified life to these people who are living with albinism. I submit, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Is there anybody opposing? So anyway, first of all, we did not acknowledge the Honorable Member for Chipili. Yesterday, yes, yeah, he's dressed very smart, always very smart. And I remember, honorable members, yesterday you were telling him, please go and make sure that you come well dressed up, because the honorable members are asking you, honorable member, to stand up and show off. You can turn round. Turn round. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We can get back to business. Since the motion, honorable members, since the motion is not opposed and we've had a number of debaters, I think we should make progress and ask the honorable minister of Community Development and Social Services to respond.
Yes. Madam Speaker, I thank all honorable members of Parliament for moving this important motion on strengthening the protection and promotion of the rights of persons with albinism. This motion is timely as it addresses the safety, dignity, and inclusion of citizens who continue to face stigma, discrimination, and even violence. The government fully recognizes that persons with albinism are entitled to the same rights, the same protection, and opportunities as every other Zambian. We strongly condemn all forms of violence, abuse, harmful beliefs, and myths associated with albinism, and reaffirm our commitment to ensuring that every person with albinism live free from fear and discrimination. Madam Speaker, persons with albinism are adequately protected under Zambia's legal and policy frameworks. The Persons with Disabilities Act, number 6 of 2012, recognizes albinism as a disability and guarantees protection from discrimination, abuse, and exclusion, while providing for equal access to education, health services, employment, and public infrastructure. The national policy on persons with disabilities further guides the mainstreaming of the needs of persons with albinism in development and planning and service delivery across all ministries and public institutions. The Employment Code Act promotes persons with albinism from discrimination in recruitment, promotion, and conditions of service, while the Anti-Gender-Based Violence Act and other criminal laws addresses their vulnerability to violence, trafficking, exploitation, and virtual attacks through law enforcement and protection services. Further, the government is in the process of developing the National Action Plan on Albinism, which is aimed at strengthening the welfare of persons with albinism. Above all, the Constitution of Zambia guarantees equality and non-discrimination and respect for human dignity and all citizens, including persons with albinism. Madam Speaker, I submit and I thank you.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Member for Kalabo Central, winding up debate.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker.
Honorable Member for Kalabo Central, before you wind up, before you continue, there is an indication for a point of order. Honorable Member for Dudumwezi, what's the point of order?
Madam Speaker, thank you very much for giving the people of Dudumwezi a point of order. Which point of order, Madam Speaker, is extremely compelling. The Honorable Minister has just given a statement. Which statement, Madam Speaker, leaves out a very serious fundamental issue. Is the Honorable Minister in order not to state in her speech that the Bill 7 that we are talking about, Madam Speaker, is meant for such people, so that, Madam Speaker, they can be allowed to sit in this house and speak for themselves, rather than, Madam Speaker, speaking for them. Is she in order not to appeal to this house and the nation to support the Bill 7? Madam Speaker, I resist from order number 71, the relevance of speech. Thank you so very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. I saw that the Honorable Member for Dudumwezi had indicated that he wanted to debate. I'm sure that is what he brought in through the back door as a point of order. And it has sufficiently debated. He has appealed to the Honorable House to support the amendment. So he sufficiently debated. The Honorable Minister was in order. May the Honorable Member for Kalabo Central wind up debate.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, let me thank the seconder, Honorable Chiwombe, for ably seconding this motion. Let me thank Honorable Msanje, who is the chairperson for the caucus, who has also contributed positively to this motion. Honorable Nyirenda for Rundazi. I'm sure initially, Madam Speaker, she had indicated to second, but due to some situations, that's how we were compelled to work with Honorable Chiwombe, but she had the desire and the will to second the motion. Madam Speaker, moving such a motion, really, you have to gain strength, because you never know what would be the response of the House. But it has come out that the House is positive towards the motion, and persons with albinism in Zambia, they really need more protection legally. Madam Speaker, the Minister was talking of the action plan. We really urge the Minister to quicken the process of the action plan. Why do we need the action for national plan? The mention of the sunscreen cream is a very important element in the welfare of persons with albinism, because it is very, very expensive. And Madam Speaker, another complication is that this cream cannot be applied universally to all persons. It has to depend on each individual person, what type of a cream the person will have to apply. So there is really need for the government intervention in order to protect our people with this disability of albinism, so that they are able to access. You can imagine, Madam Speaker, people who are living in rural areas without proper empowerment economically. For them to access this cream, it becomes a challenge. However, Madam Speaker, let me thank the House for positively supporting this motion, urging the government to come out with measures to protect persons with the albinism. Thank you very much. I beg to move.
Oh, the honorable members, there's been a lot of chatting or consulting, whichever it is, but it's now time to make a decision. I put the question. The question is that this House urges the government to strengthen protection and rights of persons with albinism. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. The clerk will now read the orders of the day.
The Income Tax Amendment Number 2 Bill, National Assembly Bill Number 19 of 2025, Committee stage.
I order, honorable members. I now consolidate orders number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and the House will resolve into committee.
Order. The Income Tax Amendment Number 2 Bill, National Assembly Bill Number 19 of 2025. Clause 1, short title, any debate and objection, Clause 1 is agreed to. Clause 2, amendment of Section 14A, any debate and objection, Clause 2 is agreed to. Clause 3, amendment of Section 29, any debate and objection, Clause 3 is agreed to. Clause 4, amendment of Section 30, any debate and objection, Clause 4 is agreed to. Clause 5, amendment of Section 43D, any debate and objection, Clause 5 is agreed to. Clause 6, amendment of Section 55, any debate and objection, Clause 6 is agreed to. Clause 7, amendment of Section 64A, any debate and objection, Clause 7 is agreed to. Clause 8, amendment of Section 74, any debate and objection, Clause 8 is agreed to. Order. Order. Clause 9, amendment of Section 78, any debate and objection, Clause 9 is agreed to. Clause 10, amendment of Section 81AA, any debate and objection, Clause 10 is agreed to. Clause 11, amendment of Section 81C, any debate and objection, Clause 11 is agreed to. Clause 12, amendment of Section 82A, any debate and objection, Clause 12 is agreed to. Clause 13, amendment of Section 84, any debate and objection, Clause 13 is agreed to. Clause 14, insertion of Section 91A, any debate and objection, Clause 14 is agreed to. Clause 15, amendment of second schedule, any debate and objection, Clause 15 is agreed to. Clause 16, amendment of ninth schedule, any debate and objection, Clause 16 is agreed to. Clause 17, amendment of charging schedule, any debate and objection, Clause 17 is agreed to. Long title, any debate and objection, long title is agreed to. The bill will be reported to the House as having passed through the committee without amendment. The next bill, the Customs and Excise Amendment Number 2 Bill, National Assembly Bill Number 20 of 25. Clause 1, short title, any debate and objection, Clause 1 is agreed to. Clause 2, amendment of Section 2, any debate and objection, Clause 2 is agreed to. Clause 3, amendment of Section 12, any debate and objection, Clause 3 is agreed to. Clause 4, amendment of Section 43, any debate and objection, Clause 4 is agreed to. Clause 5, amendment of Section 56, any debate and objection, Clause 5 is agreed to. Clause 6, repeal and replacement of Section 88C, Any debate and objection, clause 6 is agreed to. Clause 7, insertion of sections 88E and 88F. Any debate and objection, clause 7 is agreed to. Clause 8, amendment of section 89. Any debate and objection, clause 8 is agreed to. Clause 9, amendment of section 92. Any debate and objection, clause 9 is agreed to. Clause 10, amendment of section 162. Any debate and objection, clause 10 is agreed to. Clause 11, amendment of first schedule. Any debate and objection, clause 11 is agreed to. Clause 12, amendment of second schedule. Any debate and objection, clause 12 is agreed to. Clause 13, amendment of third schedule. Any debate and objection, clause 13 is agreed to. Clause 14, amendment of fourth schedule. Any debate and objection, clause 14 is agreed to. First schedule on page 8, any debate and objection. The question is that first schedule on page 8 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning.
I beg to move that the first should be amended with the words as circulated.
The question is that first schedule on page 8 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. First schedule on page 8 as amended. Any further debate? I see none. I put the question. The question is that first schedule on page 8 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. First schedule on page 8 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. Second schedule on page 13. Any debate and objection? Second schedule on page 13 is agreed to. Third schedule on page 15. Any debate and objection? Third schedule on page 15 is agreed to. Fourth schedule on page 29. Any debate and objection? Fourth schedule on page 29 is agreed to. Long title, any debate and objection? Long title is agreed to. The bill will be reported to the House as having passed through the committee with amendment. We move to the next one. The Value Added Tax Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 21 of 2025. Clause 1, short title, any debate and objection, clause 1 is agreed to. Clause 2, amendment of section 19. Any debate and objection, clause 2 is agreed to. Long title, any debate and objection, long title is agreed to. The bill will be reported to the House as having passed through the committee without amendment. The next bill, the Zambia Revenue Authority Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 22 of 2025. Clause 1, short title. Any debate and objection, clause 1 is agreed to. Clause 2, amendment of section 2. Any debate and objection, clause 2 is agreed to. Clause 3, amendment of section 11. Any debate and objection, clause 3 is agreed to. Clause 4, amendment of section 15. Any debate and objection, clause 4 is agreed to. Clause 5, amendment of section 21. Any debate and objection, clause 5 is agreed to. Clause 6, amendment of section 25. Any debate and objection, clause 6 is agreed to. Long title. Any debate and objection? Long title is agreed to. The bill be reported to the House as having passed through the committee without amendment. The next bill, the Property Transfer Tax Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2025. Clause 1, short title, any debate and objection? Clause 1 is agreed to. Clause 2, amendment of Section 5. Any debate and objection? Clause 2 is agreed to. Clause 3, amendment of Section 6. Any debate and objection? Clause 3 is agreed to. Long title, any debate and objection? Long title is agreed to. The bill will be reported to the House as having passed through the committee without amendment. The next bill, the Mobile Money Transaction Levy Bill, National Assembly Bill number 24 of 2025. Clause 1, short title, any debate and objection? Clause 1 is agreed to. Clause 2, amendment of Section 2. Any debate and objection? Clause 2 is agreed to. Clause 3, repeal and replacement of schedule. Any debate and objection? Clause 3 is agreed to. Schedule on page 4. Any debate and objection? The question is that the schedule on page 4 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning.
Madam Chairperson, I beg to move that the schedule be amended with words as circulated.
The question is that the schedule on page 4 be amended with the words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. The schedule on page 4 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that the schedule on page 4 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. The schedule on page 4, as amended, is ordered to stand part of the bill. Long title, any debate and objection? Long title is agreed to. The bill will be reported to the House as having passed through the committee with amendment. The Registration of Business Names Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2025. Clause 1, short title, any debate and objection? Clause 1 is agreed to. Clause 2, amendment of Section 2, any debate and objection? The question is that Clause 2 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning.
I beg to move that the words, and I beg to move that Clause 2 be amended with words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 2 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 2 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that Clause 2 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary say no. No. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 2 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 3, amendment of Section 5. Any debate and objection? The question is that Clause 3 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning.
I beg to move that Clause 3 be amended with words as circulated.
As the time is 16:40 hours, I suspend business for 20 minutes for a healthy break.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much for still staying with us on Parliament Television. Business of the House has been suspended for a 20 minutes health break, and will resume sitting at 17 hours. And at the time the business was suspended, the House was considering the registration of business names amendment bill, National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2025, which is being considered at a committee stage, and we expect the House to resume with consideration of this bill when the resumption when the House resumes at 17 hours. And just now we look at what has been considered on the floor of the House from the time the House has started sitting at 14:30 hours. Joe.
Yes, indeed, Pauline. So when business commenced at 14:30 hours, Madam Speaker did make two announcements. In the first announcement, Madam Speaker did recognize the presence in the Speaker's gallery of people from Albinism Multi-Purpose Organization in Lusaka district, and Madam Speaker, on behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, did warmly welcome the visitors to the National Assembly of Zambia. There was also another announcement where Madam Speaker recognized the presence in the public gallery of visitors from Isoka parliamentary constituency. Madam Speaker also welcomed the visitors to the National Assembly of Zambia. So those were the two announcements which were announced on the floor of the House.
And after the two announcements, there was a ministerial statement that was rendered on the floor of the House by the Minister of Water Development and Sanitation, and this was on the measures that the government is taking to resolve water crisis in Deke village and surrounding areas in Kamfinsa parliamentary constituency. The minister gave an update on what the government is currently doing on the water situation in this constituency.
The House then did consider one question, understanding order 80. This was a question of ordinary nature, and also one question, understanding order 82, question of urgent in nature. We'll be able to give you the details after business of today is concluded on the floor of the House.
And after that, there was a private member's motion that was moved by Kalabo Central Member of Parliament, Mr. Chinga Miyotu, and this private member's motion was titled Strengthen Protection and Rights of Persons with Disabilities, that this House urges the government to strengthen protection and rights of people living with albinism, and this was seconded by Member of Parliament for Bahati, Mr. Livani Chivombwe, and of course other members also did add their voice to the motion.
Yes, indeed, and right now we take a break, and I'll be back at 17 hours. Don't go away. Continue watching Parliament TV as we endeavor to bring Parliament closer to you. Good afternoon.
Awards stand as a reminder that hard work, integrity, and commitment to national development never go unnoticed. The National Assembly of Zambia hosted the 2025 Parliamentarians Awards on 3rd December 2025 at the National Assembly buildings. The event brought together members of Parliament to celebrate outstanding service, commitment, and leadership. In her opening remarks, First Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Malungo Chisangano MP, stated that the ceremony was not only meant to honor individual achievements, but also to recognize the hard work of parliamentarians.
This occasion serves not merely to highlight individuals' achievements, but to underscore